10 minutes. There are more people that are alive today than have ever lived. Just think about that, guys, for a sec. And in the meantime, I'm gonna show you how busy this district is. So I was planning to film at Federation Square over there, but unfortunately it started pouring like cats and dogs. So I had to find a roof, and yeah, I found a roof here where the Flinders station is, where it's quite packed. It's day 55. It's marking 55th day of learning how to speak to the camera in public and learning how to be confident speaking on camera in public. It's been a crazy long journey. I can't even imagine how I ended up here after 55 days of recording myself. I've been recording myself in public for about 25 days and and 55 days of actually speaking to the camera. A year ago, I'd probably be one of those people who would finish work at about 5 p.m. and it's almost 5 p.m. now. As you can see, 4:55. Alright, let's let it focus. Yeah. So I'd probably be one of those people coming back from work, from office job, going back home and preparing myself some dinner, having a sit down and having some food. But a year passed since I quit my job, my full-time job. It was a well-paid job, and I did quite a lot and I worked hard to actually get that job. I worked in that job for about 5 years now, and a lot of friends and a lot of people that I know were asking me and questioning why would I do that. I didn't really have an answer to them directly there and then, and obviously whoever is asking that question, I wouldn't really be able to answer that question in a few minutes or so. It's gonna just take a while, because for the past 15 years, when I arrived to Australia, literally 2 weeks in Australia, I've been working my ass off, to be exact. I started as a dishwasher, as I've already told my story in my previous video, and my most recent job was a strata consulting job. So being a consultant, which I've done for about 5 years, it's been a crazy long journey learning the craft of being a consultant. A lot of skills that I've learned in the past 15 years actually helped me with that particular job, because in that particular job I had to be able to present to people, to different committee members, to chair people. So to chair people, to chair whatever, you probably understand me. But it took me a while to get used to that. I went through some struggle, I went through some determination and persistence in order to learn the craft of that job. Because when I quit my accounting job, and I worked as an accountant for about 3 years, because my degree in uni was an accountant and business and finance degree. And I couldn't really present myself, and I couldn't really talk well in front of people. And that always pushed me to pass those boundaries, to learn something new, to learn how to speak to people, to learn how to present. And I was always struggling with that, with my tension and nervousness, with sweaty palms and racing hard and things like that. So it was, yeah, I just wanted to update you guys. Quite crazy, quite hectic here. It's crazy amount of people, but it took me a while to learn the craft of sales and how to present to people. I went through a lot of struggle during that time, and I think 3 years in my consulting journey, I've actually started understanding how it is done and how to properly present myself to people and be able to transfer that knowledge and information to them so that they agree with what I'm saying, and at the end sign the engagement letter. And once we signed the engagement letter, we basically were saying that the deal is done, almost done, because once they signed, they are committed, and they have and we have the consent to run the tender process, and that's what I was basically doing. I've actually, since I arrived to Melbourne 15 years ago, I was always dreaming of an office job, because prior to my accounting job and prior to Strata Consulting, I always worked in physical jobs. So, you know, being a waiter, doing dishes, being a dishwasher, being a cashier, being a stockist, and all that type of thing. So a lot of prior jobs were actually learning how to do some physical work. And throughout all that time, so I think it's about 7 years, I've been working I've got an arm there, first arm for the day. So 7 years I've been learning how to work physically, basically. And then I was always dreaming of having an office job. When I got the office job as an accountant, after 3 years in, first year I was pretty happy with that, but at the end it was getting quite frustrating, because obviously I sit in that cubicle, and every day in the morning I come to work and I ask myself a question. And the question was, what am I doing here? I've learned the craft of accounting, how to do financials, etc., and that was enough. And I think at that particular time I found an opportunity to work for the Strata Consulting team, the consulting company. And I did and made a big jump from being an accountant, and basically went to an area or an industry which I haven't had any clue about. But I did take the risk, and I jumped, and I worked as Strata Consultant for the past 5 years. I really enjoyed the job, and I was really happy learning how to present to people and learning how to speak in front of people for about 3-4 years. And at the end, I just felt that it's not sitting right with me, because I learned the craft. At the end, I was actually able to come into a meeting, present to them, sign the engagement letter, and basically that's deal done. And I was walking off pretty happy that I will get paid my commission for that particular building. And as Strata Consultants, we work with different buildings and committees in those buildings and help them transition from one management company to another through a tender process. And that's what I've been doing for the past 5 years. It was never easy to learn how to present to committees and chair people. I was actually struggling quite a lot. I had brain freeze, I had brain fogs when presenting, because I was quite nervous and I had a lot of tension, and I didn't really know how to present and how to talk to people and how to provide that information to them so that they understand and they're on the same page. And it was really hard to do. But by the 5th year of doing that job, I actually, man, this is just abnormal, man. This is the worst I've ever had in my entire YouTube journey. But yeah, it was crazy long journey of learning how to speak to different committees, and the committees that are sitting on those boards, and those committee members and those committees, they are quite high net worth people, and in order for me to actually present to them, so it's time guys, I'm gonna finish on this point, I'm gonna continue tomorrow on day 56. But what I wanted to say is that it was crazy hard to learn the craft, but at the end of the day, on my 5th anniversary year, I decided to quit. Even nothing was lined up for me after that job, even though I didn't really have much savings in my bank account. But I was feeling unhappy, and my passion was in content creation. So yeah guys, that was the journey so far. It's been a year since I've quit my full-time job, and a lot of people around me, my friends, say that it takes quite a lot of guts in order to be able to quit the job whilst you have commitments and responsibilities to put, you know, food on the table, to pay for the bills, etc., etc. So there's a lot of things going on. Even though the coffee shop is not profitable at this stage, because obviously food and beverage business is quite a hard business, and in order to become profitable, it does take a bit of time. Another here, all right? A bit of time to actually another third one. All right, let me pause, yeah? So yeah, in order for a food and beverage company to be profitable, it does take quite a while. So even at that time, the coffee shop was not profitable yet, and I didn't really have much savings. I took the leap and I quit the job because I felt really unhappy, and basically decided to try something new. And it's been a year now, a lot of personal growth, a lot of personal development, and now we're here. 2 months ago, literally started my YouTube journey, and I think I've learned a lot throughout this journey. I have 320 amazing subscribers now, amazing supporters. Thank you so much for your support, guys. I really appreciate it. Anyhow, we'll continue this tomorrow. I am pretty exhausted today, pretty tired, because I did wake up at 5 a.m. today and worked the whole day pretty much as a barista in my coffee shop. And yeah, gonna go and rest. Thank you so much for staying up until now, guys. It's been a crazy hectic day, especially talking to the camera in such a busy, crowded area. And this is the first time I'm actually at a rush hour and in a busy place. So a new challenge achieved, and see you in the next one. Au revoir, paka paka. Alrighty, I'm literally so exhausted. But I've made it.